All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're breaking down one of the most impressive earnings calls this season, and it's from the marketing tech company Zeta. These guys are on an absolute tear, and we're going to dig into exactly how they're pulling it off.
So let's just start with the number that made everybody's heads turn 83%. You're seeing that right. That is the year-over-year growth in Zeta's free cash flow. A number like that, it's a huge signal that something really special is happening with this company.
And this isn't some flash in the pan. We're talking about the 17th time in a row. That's more than 4 years straight that Zeta has not only beaten what analysts expected, but then immediately turned around and raised the bar for the next quarter. That kind of consistency, it's almost unheard of. Which, of course, leads to the big question, right? In a market this crowded, how on earth are they doing this, quarter after quarter? Well, it all comes down to a massive bet they made a long, long time ago. And now, it's starting to pay off big time. Okay, first things first. Let's look at the hard numbers, because this isn't just hype. The results from this quarter really do paint a crystal clear picture of a company that is absolutely firing on all cylinders. Just look at this. Everything is moving up and to the right, and it's accelerating. Revenue jumped to $337 million, a really strong 28% growth. Then you look at adjusted EBITDA, which is a great way to see how profitable they are, and that's up an incredible 46%. And there's that showstopper again, free cash flow, the actual cash they're putting in the bank, up a staggering 83%. They are growing faster and getting way more profitable at the exact same time. So what's the engine behind all this? It's AI. But it's not just the buzzword AI that everyone's talking about. They've built something they believe is the future of marketing. So let's meet Athena. Zeta CEO David Steinberg summed it up perfectly. AI is the new UI. Think about that. The whole idea is that in the future, you're not going to be clicking through a bunch of complicated menus and dashboards. You're just going to talk to the software. You tell the AI what you want, and boom, it gets it done. And that is exactly what Athena is. The best way to think about it is like an AI co-pilot for marketers. I mean, you can literally just speak to it and say, "Hey, Athena, find me all the customers who might be about to leave," and then build a campaign to win them back. It just gets rid of all the technical barriers and makes the whole thing so much easier to use. Now look, I know what you're thinking. Every company is talking about AI. So what makes Zeta so special? Why are they in such a unique position to win this race? Well, they believe they've built what's called a moat around their business, and it rests on 3 key pillars. And this really lays out their whole game plan. First, it's their data. They have this massive proprietary data cloud. This isn't just stuff scraped from the web. We're talking about real-time signals of what consumers are about to do, what they want to buy. It gives their AI a kind of predictive superpower that generic models just can't touch. Second, their AI is built right into the platform from the ground up. It's not some clunky feature they bolted on later. And third, and this is so crucial, they started building this stuff way back in 2017. That gives them an 8-year head start on competitors who are just now scrambling to figure this out. So they've got the tech, they've got this head start. Now let's talk about how they're turning that advantage into actual concrete strategies for growth. A huge piece of their strategy is something they call One Zeta. It's pretty simple, really. The goal is just to get customers to use more pieces of their platform. And the reason why is a no-brainer. A customer who uses multiple products brings in over 3 times more revenue. Not only that, they're also their happiest customers. It's this incredibly powerful growth flywheel. And it's clear the market is eating it up. At their big event, Zeta Live, they set a goal to generate over $100 million in new business opportunities. To put that in perspective, that's almost double the $57 million they got from the same event just last year. That shows you just how much demand is building for what they're selling. And here's how they're planning to supercharge that flywheel. They're in the process of acquiring a company called Marigold. And this move is brilliant because it instantly brings in over 100 huge enterprise customers. And every single one of them is currently only using one product. It's this massive, ready-made opportunity to go in, apply that One Zeta strategy, and potentially triple the value of every single one of those new accounts. So all this momentum, it's leading to some of the most confident statements about the future that you will ever hear from a public company. I mean, they're not just hitting their targets, they're blowing right past them. And they're putting their money where their mouth is. They've officially raised their forecast for the entire year. As you can see, they're bumping their revenue target by $11 million, their profitability target by $9 million, and, get this, their free cash flow target by a whopping $15 million. You just don't make upgrades like that unless you are absolutely certain about the road ahead. But here's what might be the biggest power move of all. Not only did they beat Q3 and raise their 2025 guidance, they also took the really unusual step of putting out their guidance for 2026 a full quarter early. Why would they do that? They're basically showing everyone just how strong their core business is on its own before the Marigold acquisition even comes into the picture. It's a massive show of confidence. Which really leaves us with this one big question to think about. Zeta CEO said his goal is to make AI a habit, not just a headline. As that shift really takes hold and talking to our software becomes the new normal, who's going to own the next decade of marketing? Zeta is betting that its 8-year head start gives them the inside track.